In today's news video, we cover Ukrainian Defense Forces inflict devastating blow to Russian invasion, 27 ground and airstrikes launched in 24 hours. Massive Russian military buildup on Luhansk front, 30,000 soldiers and Wagner PMC contractors deployed. Poland and Lithuania pledge support for Ukraine's EU and NATO accession, Lublin Triangle leaders talks in Lviv. Armenia refuses to host Russian military for routine exercises, another snub from an ally. Enjoy watching and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on important news. Ukrainian Defense Forces repelled Russian attacks in 2 oblasts and performed 27 ground and airstrikes, hitting clusters of Russian troops over the course of the past 24 hours. Source: General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Facebook. Information as of 6 o'clock on January 12th. Details: in the course of the past 24 hours, Russian occupiers launched 4 missile attacks on civilian targets of Lyman and Chasiv Yar settlements in Donetsk Oblast and 23 airstrikes. They have also performed 69 strikes using multiple launch rocket systems. On Wednesday, Ukrainian Defense Force units repelled Russian attacks in the areas of the settlements of Stelmakivka and Kremina in Luhansk Oblast and Rozdalivka, Sil, Krasnohora, Pereskovivka, Pidharon, Bakhmut, Klishchivka, Maersk, Pervomaysk, and Krasnohorivka in Donetsk Oblast. On the Sivershchina and Slobozhanskina fronts, Russian troops used mortars and artillery to attack near Novovasilivka and Vovkivka in Sumy Oblast, as well as Huryev-Kozachak, Streleka, Staritsia, Ohertseve, Vovchansk, Vilcha, and Novominsk in Kharkiv Oblast. On the Kupiansk front, Russian forces attacked the areas of the settlements of Dvorikna, Zapan, Kupiansk, Kislivka, Tabayivka, Krokmalm, Berestov, Vishnev, Ivanivka, and Preshatrovnev in Kharkiv Oblast and Stelmakivka in Luhansk Oblast. On the Lyman front, Terny in Kharkiv Oblast, as well as Makiivka, Ploshchenka, Nevsk, Chervopopivka, Kremina, Kuzmine, and Dybrova in Luhansk Oblast came under fire from the occupiers. The Russian invaders have built a network of trenches and dugouts using sea containers, which were previously used as a field hospital near the settlement of Radensk in Kherson Oblast. The Ukrainian Air Force made 20 strikes on clusters of Russian personnel, as well as 3 strikes on Russian anti-aircraft missile system positions in the past 24 hours. At the same time, Ukrainian servicemen shot down a Kh-52 attack helicopter, as well as 2 Orlan-10 reconnaissance UAVs. Units of Ukraine's rocket forces and artillery struck 1 command post, 7 clusters of Russian manpower, and 3 ammunition storage points belonging to the Russian forces. The Russians have deployed nearly 30,000 soldiers on the Luhansk front. Stated that Russians have deployed not only mobilized soldiers and convicts there, but also the occupiers who signed a contract with the Wagner private military company quite a long time ago. He added that the Ukrainian forces had seized a new Russian tank, from which the Russians managed to fire only 49 times before it was captured. The Russians have deployed nearly 30,000 soldiers on the Luhansk front. The soldiers include not only mobilized soldiers and convicts, but also occupiers who have signed a contract with the Wagner private military company. The Ukrainian forces have reportedly captured a new Russian tank, which the Russians were only able to fire 49 times before it was seized. This information suggests that Russia has a significant military presence in the area and that the Ukrainian forces are actively engaging with them. Poland and Lithuania to lobby NATO for security guarantees for Ukraine and NATO. Andrzej Duda, the president of Poland, has mentioned the intentions of Warsaw and Vilnius to support Ukraine on its way to the European Union and NATO as part of the Lublin Triangle leaders' talks in Lviv. Source: European Pravda, citing Polski Radio. The Polish president has told journalists that the negotiations between the three presidents covered, among other things, the defense of Ukraine and the security of our part of Europe. Quote, "We have talked about how we would support Ukraine because today, Ukraine desperately needs this support, as we all know. Every day, people are dying in Ukraine, every day civilians die, every day Ukrainian soldiers die defending their motherland," Duda said. "That's why we spoke and told the president of Ukraine how we would support Ukraine from the political side, on its way to the European Union, as well as on its way to NATO, also considering the upcoming NATO summit in Vilnius," he added. Details: the Polish president emphasized that Poland and Lithuania would lobby NATO so that the alliance provides Ukraine with special security guarantees. Quote, "We also discussed military support for Ukraine, infrastructure and equipment which Poland, like Lithuania, has been providing to Ukraine since the beginning of the conflict," Duda said. Armenia has refused to host Russia's military for routine exercises, another snub from a country President Vladimir Putin thought was an ally. On Tuesday, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan said that he had canceled military drills planned by the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a Russian-dominated alliance of post-Soviet nations, later this year, the Associated Press reported. "At least this year, these drills won't take place," he said at a press conference, calling the drills inappropriate in the current situation. Russia's military presence in Armenia not only fails to guarantee its security, but it raises security threats for Armenia, Pashinyan added, according to AP. The Armenian leader also criticized Russian peacekeepers' failure to take a more active role around the disputed separatist region of Nagorno-Karabakh, saying that he will seek support from the US and the European Union to help ease the tensions with Azerbaijan. Nagorno-Karabakh has been under the control of ethnic Armenian forces since a separatist war there ended in 1994. Starting last month, Azerbaijani activists have been blocking a free corridor linking Armenia to the region. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov played down the quarrel, calling the country our very close ally, according to AP. Pashinyan's latest move is another sign of tensions growing among Russia's allies. In a CSTO summit last November, Putin was repeatedly snubbed by Pashinyan, including when the Armenian prime minister refused to be photographed in close proximity to him. Other members of CSTO include Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. Azerbaijan is not part of the group. Putin has become increasingly isolated on the world stage over his full-scale invasion of Ukraine. India's prime minister criticized the Ukraine invasion directly to Putin in September, while the Russian president also admitted last year that China has questions and concerns about its actions in Ukraine.